What if someone claimed to exist before one of the most important figures in human history? What if a single sentence could turn a calm conversation into a moment so explosive that people reached for stones? And what if those words still challenge every person today to decide who Jesus really is? In the Gospel of John, chapter 8, the tension between Jesus and the religious leaders has been building for some time. The conversation has already moved through questions about truth, freedom, and spiritual identity. Some people listening are beginning to believe in him, but many others are growing increasingly hostile. The atmosphere is charged. The religious leaders feel that Jesus is threatening their authority and their understanding of God. His teachings are bold, his claims are unsettling, and his influence over the crowds is growing. So they respond with an accusation meant to discredit him. Are we not right in saying that you are a Samaritan and have a demon? This statement carries both insult and rejection. To call someone a Samaritan in that cultural setting was meant as a serious offense. Samaritans were viewed by many Jews as outsiders who had corrupted the true faith. By labeling Jesus this way, they were questioning both his identity and his loyalty to the Jewish people. But the accusation does not stop there. They go further, claiming that he is possessed by a demon. In other words, they are saying that the authority and power behind his words cannot come from God. In their minds, it must come from something evil. Yet Jesus responds with remarkable calm. I do not have a demon, he says, but I honor my Father, and you dishonor me. Instead of reacting with anger, Jesus points to the deeper issue behind their accusations. They are rejecting him not because he has done something wrong, but because they cannot accept who he truly is. Jesus continues by saying something that shifts the conversation again. I do not seek my own glory. There is one who seeks it, and he is the judge. Here Jesus is reminding them that the final evaluation of his life and words will not come from human courts or religious councils. It will come from God. And then he speaks a promise that sounds both mysterious and powerful. Truly, truly, I say to you, if anyone keeps my word, he will never see death. For a moment, the crowd pauses. Never see death? This sounds impossible. Everyone knows that death is unavoidable. Even the greatest figures in history eventually die. So the religious leaders respond with disbelief. Now we know that you have a demon, they say. Abraham died as did the prophets. Yet you say, if anyone keeps my word, he will never taste death. In their minds, Jesus' claim is absurd. Abraham, the father of their nation, had died centuries earlier. The prophets who spoke for God throughout Israel's history had also died. So they asked the question with a tone of challenge. Are you greater than our father Abraham, who died, and the prophets died? Who do you make yourself out to be? This question goes straight to the heart of the matter. Who does Jesus claim to be? Jesus answers carefully. If I glorify myself, my glory is nothing. It is my Father who glorifies me, of whom you say he is our God. Once again, Jesus draws attention to the relationship between himself and the Father. The religious leaders claim to worship God, yet the one sent by God stands in front of them, and they refuse to recognize him. Jesus continues, but you have not known him. I know him. These words must have sounded shocking to the listeners. The religious leaders had devoted their lives to studying the scriptures, observing the law, and maintaining the traditions of their faith. They believed themselves to be experts in the knowledge of God. Yet Jesus says plainly that they do not truly know him. And then he adds something even more striking. If I were to say that I do not know him, I would be a liar like you. But I do know him, and I keep his word. This statement intensifies the conflict. Jesus is claiming a unique and direct knowledge of God the Father. Not second-hand knowledge, not theoretical understanding, but personal, intimate relationship. Then Jesus brings Abraham back into the conversation. Your father Abraham rejoiced that he would see my day. He saw it and was glad. This statement is mysterious. How could Abraham, who lived thousands of years earlier, have seen the day of Jesus? Some scholars believe Jesus is referring to the promises God gave Abraham about the coming Messiah. Abraham trusted that through his descendants, God would bless the nations of the world. In that sense, Abraham looked forward to the day when God's plan of redemption would unfold. But the listeners are not thinking about prophecy. They are thinking about time. and by their calculations, Jesus' statement makes no sense. They respond quickly. You are not yet 50 years old, and have you seen Abraham? From their perspective, this is the final proof that Jesus' claims are unreasonable. But then Jesus speaks a sentence that will echo through history. Truly, truly, I say to you, before Abraham was, I am. These words are short, but their meaning is enormous. Jesus does not simply say, before Abraham was, I was. Instead, he uses the phrase, I am. To modern readers, this might seem like a small detail, but to those listening in that moment, the meaning was unmistakable. Centuries earlier in the book of Exodus, Moses encountered God in the burning bush. When Moses asked God what name he should give to the Israelites, God answered with a mysterious declaration, I am who I am. The phrase I am became closely associated with the divine name of God. It represented God's eternal existence, his nature as the one who simply is. No beginning, no end, unchanging and self-existent. So when Jesus says, before Abraham was, I am, he is doing something extraordinary. He is not merely claiming to be older than Abraham. He is claiming a form of existence that transcends time itself. He is identifying himself with the eternal name of God. For the religious leaders listening, this is not a misunderstanding. They know exactly what he is saying. And in their minds, such a claim is blasphemy. The reaction is immediate. They pick up stones. Under the law of Moses, blasphemy against God was considered a capital offense. If someone falsely claimed divine status, the punishment could be death by stoning. So the crowd prepares to carry out what they believe is justice. But something unexpected happens. Jesus slips away. The gospel writer simply says that he hid himself and went out of the temple. The moment ends as suddenly as it began. The stones fall back to the ground. The tension remains unresolved. And the words Jesus spoke continue to echo in the minds of those who heard them. Before Abraham was, I am. This moment in John chapter 8 forces a question that cannot easily be ignored. Who is Jesus? Throughout history, people have tried to answer this question in many different ways. Some say he was simply a moral teacher. Others call him a prophet. Some see him as a revolutionary leader or a spiritual guide. But the words recorded in this passage make those explanations difficult to maintain. Because Jesus did not only teach about God, he made claims about himself that placed him in a unique relationship with God. He spoke with authority that went beyond that of the prophets. And in this moment, he used language that connected him directly to the eternal name of God. This is why the reaction of the religious leaders was so strong. They understood that Jesus was making a claim that could not be treated lightly. Either he was speaking the truth about his identity, or he was guilty of the greatest blasphemy imaginable. There was no middle ground. And this same choice still confronts people today. If Jesus truly is who he claimed to be, then his words carry ultimate authority. His promises about eternal life are real. His warnings about sin and judgment matter deeply. And his invitation to follow him becomes the most important call a person can ever hear. But if his claims are not true, then he cannot simply be viewed as another wise teacher. Because wise teachers do not claim eternal existence before Abraham. They do not identify themselves with the divine name of God. They do not promise victory over death to those who keep their word. The challenge of Jesus' identity remains as powerful today as it was in the temple courts of Jerusalem. His words continue to provoke questions. They inspire faith in some. They create resistance in others. But they refuse to fade quietly into history. Because at the center of Christianity is not merely a philosophy or a moral system. It is a person. A person who claimed to come from the Father. A person who spoke about eternal life with authority. And a person who declared, before Abraham was, I am. For those who believe, this statement reveals the mystery of the Incarnation. The eternal Son of God stepping into human history. The Creator entering his creation. The one who existed before time, choosing to live among people bound by time. And through his life, death, and resurrection, offering a path to eternal life. The crowd in the temple could not fully understand this mystery in that moment. But the story of Jesus would continue. The cross would come. The resurrection would follow. And the message about who he truly is would spread far beyond the walls of Jerusalem. Across cultures, across centuries, across the entire world. And today, each person who hears his words is faced with the same question that echoed among the crowd that day. Who do you say that Jesus is? Is he simply a historical figure, a wise teacher from the past? Or is he truly the eternal Son who spoke the words, "Before Abraham was, I am"? Thank you for watching this video. If this message helped you understand the powerful claims Jesus made about himself, please like the video, follow the Holy Path Insights channel, and share this video with someone who is searching for deeper truth in the Bible. Your support helps spread these timeless messages of faith and understanding to people around the world.